Okay, the geniuses will see us now.
I'm a pro.
He's very unprofessional.
Very unprofessional.
These are our newly arrived surgeons, Doctors Trowbridge and Greenbaum.
Doctor?
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 We're not doctors.
Are you sure they can handle this?
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
You'll forgive us if we're not instilled with confidence.
Potentially unprofessional pieces of content.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. Actually, you made me learn quite a lot on relationships, and for once, I was actually open to it to someone else. Like I didn't know. Like I think I kept this all into myself. Like I haven't even come this far with my best friends as well, because they haven't actually asked the right questions. So I kind of like put it deep inside me. And kind of like, that's why I'm like kind of like a loner, and I'm kind of writing everything down under a journal and kind of like willing to solve things by myself, because people are just telling me yes, and kind of agreeing with me, but you just like challenge me to say, no, you have to go in.
So that was Rashni of the Tao podcast. She joined me on this one, and we talked about relationships. This was a great episode. Even if you're not interested in the relationship side of things for this one, it's a super interesting one because you can see a first person look into someone who's lying to themselves and then comes to term with it partway through and then accepts it at the end after some, great fighting throughout. But I'll let you decide for yourself. So without further ado, enjoy the pod.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm ready to start whenever you are. Do you want to talk about what we're going to talk about, or should we just go in?
Yeah, just go in.
All right, go ahead.
So what like you wanted to talk about relationships, so we can start by just saying what type of relationships are kind of out there: romantic, platonic, we have family kind of relationship, we have establishing business kind of relationships. And really the biggest question is, who is worth the investment? And
I know you are very interested in the one night stands, like
no.
The very superficial. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I kind of like the opposite, because like, like I'm often for like the permanent kind of relationships, like the one that I can count on.
So your next one, you want it to last forever. You want it to be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. That's kind of like my idea. Yeah.
How many relationships have you had?
So one so far.
One so far.
It's so hard to like pick people.
And you're in it right now?
No.
You're single. What happened to that one?
So
you're like, this guy's ugly. Screw it.
Okay, that was kind of my first impression, so that's spot on.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, but like he was from my country, but he was like studying medicine at the time too. So it's like we kind of met in like the same city, but he was like studying in another city. And we were kind of like friends for a couple of months. And I met him on summer. Like, so I was like, I didn't even know that there were like Sri Lankans out there until like I thought I was the only one. And
it wasn't a white guy, it wasn't a black guy, it was Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
Who would have thought? All right, continue.
Yeah, it's like, but like no, it's like I'm open to like even other people.
Right, but what are the chances that you end up in a relationship that isn't with a Sri Lankan or like Indian or like Asian or some sort?
Like I first of all, I don't know about Indian because it hasn't really happened, and I don't think even Japanese is kind of like not my thing. African as well, so like I have like particular taste. And even when I was in Romania, the thing is that I felt like most of the men were like complete liars. So like, so then I was like, okay, this is okay. Then I had this like kind of like I was like discriminating people afterwards in my mind, like because
which is good. You should. I mean, what are you gonna do? Just accept everybody? It's not how it works.
Yeah, it's especially for like romantic relationships. I can't. Yeah. Like, so it's like I was there. My roommate was trying to set me up with a few guys. That didn't work. It's like I'm a really picky person.
Yeah, that's what everybody says though.
Yeah, but like I was like watching her, and she's like she gets guys on like all the time. Like as soon as she finishes like one relationship,
Yeah.
it just takes 2 or 3 months, and she's
Do you think
into
that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think that she like her character is like her personality. She's like really responsible. So I think that she just has a good heart. So she just accepts people.
Do you think she should discriminate more?
Maybe in her head, like I think that she should like try to invest more like take more time to herself.
Yeah,
Like,
to assess the guy before just accepting the next one.
yes.
Huh.
Because that's how I think. I don't know, like and my last relationship kind of was like accidental because like I did not like intend to have a relationship with the person, and I kind of started it out like you're ugly. You're exactly yeah. So it's the thing is that like we started talking, and then we realized like, oh my god, we have so many similarities. Like we got the scholarships in the same year.
And then you started to find him attractive or what?
He was like really funny, and
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like sexual attraction. It was like, oh, this is a funny guy who I have a lot in common with.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that what you're looking for?
No,
Oh,
because the thing is that like even though he was smart, he was like book smart and street.
yeah.
Yeah,
And you don't like that.
book and a bit of street smart, but he had no idea about like the business sector. So once you get out of the so I was like
That's what turned you off, is that he wasn't excelling in the business sector?
No, that's not what
I don't
turned
think
me
I
off.
believe you.
I was like, this is what I was thinking in my head. Like, would he adapt to kind of like what if he graduates and he doesn't find a job because it's like hard for immigrants to find a job. So I was like,
You
thinking,
really had all that through your mind instead of just, I really like this guy? It sounds like you didn't like him that much.
No, the thing is that I think too much.
His business prospects aren't high enough? That's insane, right?
Yes, yeah, it is because like, I was a kid that kind of had thought about everything at like first. So like when I look at this guy, I'm like, okay, I give him a chance because he's the closest to my expectations.
Okay. Yeah, that's what everyone does, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is the closest I can get right now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this for now.
Yes. And then the thing is that like I like someone who actually like kind of like talks to my dad and kind of like put him in his place sometimes. And
Okay.
yeah, but like
And did he do that? It
No.
sounds like he didn't have that. No.
He
You want a guy who will put your dad in his place sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
Very
through the like verbally, not like
yeah.
physically.
So what are you doing to seek out a guy like that?
Actually, I have met a guy like that, but like I'm still like thinking about it. Like,
What do you mean about this guy specifically?
yeah, if we have any chances in the future, for example.
How long have you known each other?
Since 2018.
Jesus. Okay. Wow. Okay. So,
So,
is he lived by you? How often do you
Yes.
see each other? Never?
Like we saw each other a couple of times, and like he went like really crazy. Like after we kind of like
That sounds like the one.
we kind of like separated. We like I didn't want to.
Wait, you were boyfriend, girlfriend, or no? Or you
No,
mean physically separated?
No, we were dating in 2018, but like
Okay. Is this the one guy you've been with? No, this is a different guy.
this is the second guy actually.
Oh, so you have been two guys. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So this was the second guy, and we were dating, and then we'd call it quits, both of us, because like I didn't want, like he was like super rich, and like for me, it's like I'm basically like I have all these rules on me with my parents, and like I can't take him out for that time. So it's like, why don't I concentrate on myself, build my own business, and then take him out? And that was kind of my plan. Okay. And then this guy went on like crazy on like social media and stuff like this, because like it was kind of like a rejection in. And yeah, he was pretty cool. Like when I met him.
Okay,
and
so you like partially you like started to reject him and then he went crazy on social media. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Okay, so how did you reject him? You were like, sorry, we
So
shouldn't date now.
it's like we said it both at the same time. It's like maybe we should wait, because he knew that like I just switched from medicine to business,
Okay,
and he knew
who cares? Why does that matter?
no, because like I want to actually spend my time alone and like figure out what I'm going to do next in life. So
So okay, but if you really like this guy, why would that change anything? It sounds like you didn't.
yeah, like I didn't,
Okay.
I did because he's always like.
I mean, it's all pretty simple. Like,
Yeah.
like it's not complicated. Like, it
Yeah.
sounds like you just didn't like him enough.
No, I liked him, but the thing is that I think that we didn't get enough time to like talk about things deeply, and it was like
So
so.
why didn't you call him up sometime and just talk about things deeply? It just doesn't work like that.
It didn't work.
Well, it
like
sounds like at that point you guys were long distance.
No, it's not long distance, because we were like living in the same like place,
Okay.
and we were going to the same uni.
Okay.
He just didn't want to continue the uni at the time.
Oh, so that turned you off a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, what's he doing?
yeah, but like he's kind of like already like financially stable, and he's like always paying for me. So like I didn't like him doing that, you know.
You're a strong, independent woman, and you
Yeah.
don't need no man. Okay. So what do you want then? I mean, you at first you rejected a guy because he wasn't smart enough in the business sector, and then you
Yeah,
find a
it's
guy who's
like-
already got it set, and you don't like it. So
No,
what's
it's
that? What do you want?
it's like no, he made me feel like he made me feel like I was less, you know.
Oh, okay. All right, so screw that guy. So have you ever had a guy that you're like, I really want this guy,
I think that he was
and you
the
weren't able to
closest.
get him?
Yeah, he was the closest. I think for the last one, what happened was why we called it quits was because like he wasn't his status, okay, and my status wasn't the same, because he came from
That sounds like some caste system shit. Like, what? Why does that matter? What do you mean?
it's like because the message he kind of wrote to me was that like because I come from a really good family back at home,
So,
and for him it's like I made him feel less, and now it just happened to me back in 2018, like it just happened to me with the guy.
okay,
So it's like kind of like karma.
okay. Okay, I guess I don't quite get that part, but okay. So
Yeah.
have you ever had a guy though that you've been interested in and you haven't been able to get him,
No.
or he rejected you? That's never happened. Do you think that's because you're so good, you're so special, or why do you think that has happened? How is that possible?
Like I don't think like I'm special, but like a lot of people have told me I was, but like for me I'm normal.
So you're normal. So what's up? Why has that never happened? How have you never had a guy where you're interested in them and then they just, it didn't work out?
It didn't work out for the previous one because
Yeah, but you rejected him essentially.
No, it's like he rejected me because of the status.
It doesn't sound like it, but okay. It sounds like you rejected him, but
I was kind of like I rejected him from the start, but then I kind of liked him afterwards. So it's
okay. But I'm talking about a guy that you're very interested in. Has that ever happened? That's never happened. Where you're just like, wow, I really want this guy. Okay. So how is that even a thing? Like, do you think you're just like this? Because I'm just trying to figure out, like, just satisfy my curiosity. Like, are you just like this up here? Just your sexual market value is just so high. Like, I'm super educated, which is great. I'm very pretty. I'm all these things. Like, you're up here, and so all these other guys are down here, and you just haven't been able to.
It's like no, it's like for me to actually like a person, it should take a significant period of time. It just doesn't.
But most people don't say that's how it works. You understand that? Like,
yeah, I know.
Do you think your brain works that differently?
Yeah,
I doubt it.
Yeah, it just works differently, and yeah, for
my
me,
theory is that that's not true.
And if someone wants to go away, like I keep the door wide open. It's like you can go right now. I'm not going to like force you.
Well, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, if people don't want to stay, like, I understand that. But I don't know. Do you think that you? Why is that? Like, do you think that you don't allow yourself to get interested in somebody? Because that's wild. Like, in like this, you know, as far as all the people I've ever known, everyone who I know has like gotten very interested in someone at least once and then wasn't able to get them. Like, it's almost a healthy thing to have, like at least once in your life, right?
Yeah, and the thing is that like that has happened, like I guess with the previous one as well, like previous two. It's like when you start getting to know them, you kind of like them, and you wish they hadn't left, they hadn't gone. But
That's
like,
not the same though. It's not what I'm talking about.
yeah, but like you're strong enough to like stay alone as well. That's why everybody's like confused, or like especially all the guys. They're like, "What kind of girl is this?"
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think they are trying to figure it out because they haven't seen a girl like me, I guess. Like, especially the recent guy, like, I went out with, was continuously like thinking of me as I must be terrible or I must be too good.
Yeah, you think that's what it is? You're too
Yeah.
good?
As like either I can't do anything, or either I can
Oh,
do
this guy
everything.
was thinking that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he like then he started acting weird, and he started following like a different like range of like women on social media, and tried like going
What
out
does that
with
mean?
them.
A
Yeah,
different range.
like it's like women of different like interests, and like on like if you put them on a spectrum, if depending on the way they kind of like understood life in general.
Okay, you got to be more specific.
Yeah,
That's too vague.
it's like depending on their job and
Give an example.
like okay, depending on like someone who does finance to someone who's just uh, looking for a job as probably I don't want to tell this because it's actually real. You know, it's actually real. So
Just say it. Who cares?
yes, to someone who's just like going to the gym, for example, okay, every day, but doesn't have a proper a proper dream or a proper
Mm,
like goal, you know.
mm,
So he's like dating all these kinds of women just to see
mm.
like which one is like me. And it's kind of weird because he's like imitating me and stuff like this, and which was kind of weird on social media. Then I realized like it took 2 years to realize that he actually kind of liked me, and he was like acting like a jerk because
Mm,
of me, because
mm,
he liked me, and I kind of rejected him.
hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you are you like interested in a relationship? I mean, I don't know. It sounds like you're almost like just gonna be by yourself forever.
No, I am interested in a relationship actually, yeah.
Okay.
But like someone who's like, I think that like the last person I dated was the closest guy to the expectation. The closest, the real actually closest. It's like
Yeah.
this.
I just think it's wild that you've never been interested in someone enough to like go for it or like get rejected. Like, I don't know. I just don't you think that don't you know everyone around you like who's
Yeah,
had
it's
that?
like, but like I don't you all my friends know that I'm a person like if I text a lot, okay, to one guy, and like call
Yeah.
a lot or text a lot to one guy, and if he doesn't take it seriously, I'm the person who's like, no, I'm going.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I just don't beg for more or something like this. Is that what you're saying?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Like, so I guess you've been very interested in guys, but then they don't show you the exact thing you're looking for, and then
Yeah.
you call it quits.
Yeah, I call it quits because the way that they're supposed to like you isn't the same, you know.
It sounds like you've almost never made a mistake though in a relationship, like a relationship wise.
No.
Don't you think that that's Don't you think that that's not good? Because I mean, imagine going like you're studying math, right? You're studying math and you always get everything right. Don't you think at some point you're like, maybe I'm doing it wrong or something? Or maybe
like I think to myself, maybe I'm doing it wrong. But the thing is that like I reflect on my entire life. I think that
that it's everyone else and
yeah. No, depending. No, it's like depending on the person who asked me out. Okay. Depending on the person that asked me out at that time, I would say it wasn't the right person, the right person. It didn't feel like the right person,
Okay, that's super like vague though. Like, so no one's ever felt like the right person. Do you think it'll ever happen?
Yeah, and probably in the future, in the near future.
I don't know. That doesn't sound very promising.
It's like you have to read my book. I can give you the kind of like this thing, but like I'm not like over crazy. I have never been so crazy over a guy. Like it is.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. But you've never just had like a strong interest or like drawing to a guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
strong. Yeah, I did have that the last time actually. A very strong interest, but I didn't want to take advantage of the guy at the same time. So I kind of felt bad,
How would you be taking advantage of them?
Because when somebody acts like a sugar daddy, okay.
You don't like that. That's fine.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Even like it was kind of odd because I kind of told him not to spoil me because I like the kind of challenging environment because it's like making me improve a lot. So so it's kind of weird because all my friends and everybody in the uni told me that he actually has a major crush on me ever since that day, because like no other woman has actually turned him down because of that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that'll definitely do it for sure. I don't know. I'm just thinking about like if there's like something you could do better or like change, but I guess if you're just fine with what's happening, then there's nothing to change.
Yeah, it's like
you're just good.
I'm good. Like I had to just focus on myself and like improve myself. Like and then maybe in the future I can ask him out.
Oh, you're still interested in that guy?
Yeah.
I see. Huh. Yeah, we have very different paths. We've come very different ways.
Yes, and like so I don't know, everybody who like kind of likes me wants to make kids.
Yeah, isn't that what you want? I mean, it sounds like you want like a family.
Yeah, a family.
Yeah, but you're just not ready.
Like the last guy actually went to the point. Okay, he went to the point and he was like, do you want to raise kids? How many at what age do you want to raise kids? And I kind of
that's a lot.
And he asked me so many questions and I got it all figured out, but I wasn't like, I was 24 at the time. So I was like, maybe not now. Like I have a dream to kind of accomplish. And then I was like, I told him everything. So I was kind of open as I can be. So like my age to have kids is probably 30.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
30. Yeah. You were born in 94, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Towards the end, actually, December.
Yeah. You
so
got a lot of time left.
I have a couple of years, okay?
Because
normally everybody here, especially during the pandemic, everybody who is married especially wanted to have kids. And I'm like, I was showing them a clip on Snapchat that I was running in the middle of nowhere, and then it's like me running away from pregnancy.
Yeah, see, a lot of people say that, and it's like, okay, well, are you interested or are you not?
What?
In having children?
Yes, I want to have children, at least 2, maybe twins at once, so I can get over it. Like twins, like a boy and a girl will be perfect. Then I don't have to have more kids.
What? So, okay, you're like a life coach. Do do you like talk about relationships with your, how many like people do you have that you coach?
I had a couple, like I just started online, so it's around 10 people.
It's 10 people?
Yeah.
Dang, that's pretty good. So you just Zoom call them or what?
Yeah, I just Zoom call them. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to put like any of the things I just told you till now on the podcast because
Are
it's
you serious? That
yeah,
whole
it's
thing
my
isn't gonna be on?
yeah, it's my private life, and the guy is also probably listening to all of the
Oh, Jesus, really?
yes. So I don't want to. It's weird because like even when I first started, like he showed me like so much support like through social media, which was kind of like weird.
It was too much. So you want a guy to show you support but not show you support?
No, it's like he was showing me support, like, and it felt like he was watching my every move, you know.
Oh yeah, that's creepy.
That is creepy. And then the thing is that like while like there were things like I could tell you about, like I was texting my friend and he was another guy, okay, so and he like so the guy I liked was worried that why am I having so many boys as friends, and then I'm like, maybe I'm a tomboy because like
There's plenty of girls who do that.
it's like I don't know, it's like I used to have a few best friends and like they were all girls, and then I had, when I like came abroad, most of the people I'm talking to were guys, whether younger or older, or even my podcast guests were like guys. Most of all, most of them were guys. So that kind of like raised his eyebrows, and he kind of like, I don't know, it felt like he was talking, hacking every app that I was using to like, see what I was doing.
It sounds like a red flag.
Yeah, and then I told that don't stalk, and then after that he like, I don't like people stalking. I just wrote that on social media, and then it stopped. So yeah, I just don't want to put any of that.
Okay. Well, take it away then. I'll leave it to you.
Okay, so we can start by from this point actually. We have three types of relationships: platonic, romantic, and maybe we can talk about business relationships as well.
Okay. I definitely think there are more categories than that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So you think there's platonic, like committed relationship, and business relationship?
Yeah, this like platonic is like a friendship.
Right. Okay.
It's like a friendship. Like I have like so many friends who are like just boys.
Yeah. Platonic. That makes sense. And then there's business relationship. It's someone you strictly work with.
Yeah.
It can be friendly or not, right?
Yeah.
And then there's committed relationship.
Yes.
You wouldn't add another section in there?
Maybe like, how is my relationship with my family, which is kind of like
this is the most beautiful moment. You wouldn't add any other section in there. Okay, let's also add family. What else?
Yes.
There's nothing else. There's got to be something else. There's at least one more.
No, I think those are the top kind of.
Okay, but let's include all of them. What else is there? Between a man and a woman. That's it? You're stumped? I thought you used to tutor students and you're like a life coach. You can't add another?
Like, no, because I think if I keep it like to 4, I don't want to like make it sound like really weird or
what do you mean?
Because there are like types of relationship that
that you don't approve of, that you don't like.
Yeah.
Okay, but those are still relationships, right? I mean, you can't not include them. They're very important to some people, and if for some people it's like one of the biggest things in their lives, whether they like it or not.
For that,
you're just not going to include it.
Yeah, I'm not going to include it because
what?
I have
It doesn't sound very scientific of you.
Yes.
You're just keeping out an entire section that like most people are in. All right.
Like I also read about a few books that actually talk about incestuous relationships because I don't want
Oh,
to.
right. Okay. I think you're going in a direction that I'm not.
Okay.
You know what sex is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people have sex and are not in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
And that's a very different relationship than a platonic one.
Yeah.
It's also different than a committed relationship.
Yeah. That is like.
So you wouldn't add that as a
No,
section? Why? How?
it's like friends with benefits. Come on. I don't want.
But so many people are in that. So you're just gonna leave it out?
Yeah, but like okay, friends with benefits. It's kind of like I think because I was raised in a different culture. It kind of
That's
makes
fine, but
yeah,
you
it
can't
kind
just
of yeah,
neglect it.
yeah.
It
Okay,
is a thing. Okay.
friends with benefits.
Jesus. Wow, we really are gonna have to get to the foundation. All right. Okay, so all right, sure. I'll agree with you there. So there's platonic, there's friends with benefits, there's committed relationship, there's business friend, there's like business, I guess. I feel like that's still platonic. Let's just keep that in platonic. And then I think that's probably fine. I mean, we could also add like very flirtatious like relationship or whatever. That's not nothing's happened yet, but that's fine. We'll do three.
Like to keep things
I don't even think
simple.
business relationship is necessary. I mean, you could do like what's it called? You're not friends, but you're like acquaintances, right? That's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But that we don't even have to include that. I mean, it's barely even a relationship. But okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we got those.
Yeah. So I like to keep things simple, and I kind of like in my life.
Don't simplify it too much.
So in my life, I just cut the friends with benefits and cut incestuous relationships.
Yeah, but it's fine. But this isn't just about your life, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So
those are the ones.
Yes. So those are the types. Especially if we are talking about friendship benefits, I think that the dating apps is kind of like a weird strategy. And it's kind of advantageous as well because you get all the like spenders in one place and you're giving profit to the country and certain companies as well.
That's what you think of, giving profit to the country?
Yes, that's what I think of with dating apps.
I mean, that's insane. I
then,
mean, you're right. That's what you think of like 10 steps down the line after you've like thought about it and like used it or haven't used it, but like
the thing is that like I haven't used it and I don't know, my friend was like this was something weird that happened in my life is that
are you going to cut this out of the pod too? Like
yeah, no, I started receiving I know I'm not going to take this out of the pod.
Okay.
But like I started receiving dating app confirmations but I didn't have a dating app on my phone.
Okay.
It's like somebody else is putting my number on this dating app. So I actually make an account. Okay. And it was kind of weird because like I was suspecting that it was a certain guy who actually did it or the person he was with at the time because she was like major jealous.
That's super weird, but okay.
Yeah, because she was like
okay. So that happened.
Jealous, yeah. So she was like major jealous of me.
Okay, so you have an account or you don't?
I don't. I made one account and I started rejecting everybody off the list. Like you can't tell.
Yeah, you made an account. Okay, so
I made it.
Sounds like you have a goofy excuse for making an account.
Okay, and my friend, my friend.
Oh, it was just a joke. That's what every girl says. I was just kidding, but I made an account and then started swiping.
I made an account. I put a fake name on it. I put a fake name on it, and they asked for the picture, and I kind of put like a picture of a scenery. I didn't put my picture of myself.
That's silly. Okay.
And then this list of guys just came, and it's like you can't tell anything, and you just have to look at the picture. And I'm like.
Right. A lot of it's based on
how can you like
well, I mean, for you, of course, you're looking into like whether they're good at business, even though they're like a medical student or something. Like that's insane. You don't think that that's a wild thing to
it's like
to be considering?
Yeah, it's a wild thing because the thing
don't you just have like feelings? Like what I don't understand.
I have feelings.
Are you sure?
I'm not a robot.
And it kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm not a robot. It's like I have expectation for the future, okay? And like I like someone I like someone who can adapt like really fast. to what the situation is from.
And that's fine too, but I don't know. It just doesn't sound like.
Yeah, it's like someone.
By the way, if you're listening to this, you missed an entire 30-minute conversation about her relationships in her life. So it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway.
It's like it makes sense to me because
yeah, of course.
Most of it is like happening in my head. Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
A lot of silly things happen in people's heads.
It's not exactly silly, because if I kind of give you an essay on it, it'll kind of make sense.
I doubt it.
It will make sense because I write a lot, especially.
You're good at writing. So you're looking for a guy who's good at writing, has acumen in business down the road, even though that's not even what they're interested in, and is supportive but not supportive. And
you have to be supportive. It's like,
but not too supportive.
Don't do it in a weird way, maybe. Like,
it sounds like you're looking for an imaginary person, and that you haven't had true feelings for like anybody.
No,
that's what I've gotten from this.
No, I have had like true feelings. That's why I kind of like went into a depression in the first place. Yeah, this was like something that triggered it. So yeah.
I mean, it sounds like that you didn't mention that to me though. Like I don't. Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, because
here's what I'm getting from you. I mean, from you, we've talked 1 hour before, and this is we've talked like 40 minutes now. From what I've gotten from you is you completely hide like whole sections of things that are very important to like understanding something. Like we literally were talking about the types of relationships, and you just completely neglected probably one of the most like common forms of intimate relationship, and you just completely you and even when I brought it up, you were like, no, it doesn't count. It's like, yeah, it counts, like whether you want it to or not. And now you're doing the same thing with your own personal life.
No, the thing is that to have a healthy kind of like life, I think
you have to lie to yourself.
Yeah, no, to have a healthy life, you don't have to have those,
Oh, that's fine, I agree with you, but for you to like completely neglect to mention it is just wild.
It's the thing is that I wasn't prepared for this podcast like that. I was for the previous one.
No, but then when I brought it up, you still denied it. You were like, oh no, that doesn't count. It's like, yeah, it does.
Okay, we can make it count. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. But before we keep going, I think you also like are like hiding swaths of like either your feelings or your understandings about things in your personal life too. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
yes, I hide a lot of things in my personal life.
Don't you think that's important for? I mean, you're a life coach. Don't you think it's important for like your own life to be honest with yourself, like almost 100% of the time? Yeah, we're all hypocritical.
I am honest with myself because I
sure you are.
Down. Yeah,
you literally just admitted that you lie to yourself.
Like the thing is that I write everything down.
So how does that change anything?
So when I write everything down, it's like I know what my feelings are, and I try to like differentiate it. And when somebody else kind of like tell me how I feel, it's like, how do you know about myself? It's like that for me.
Yeah, but that's just the feeling I'm getting from you. And I believe it truly. But
yeah, and like I don't blame you, because like a lot of people have told me I'm actually very cold.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you're cold, whether that's the case or not. I'm saying that you hide things from yourself.
I don't hide things from myself. I hide a lot of things from other people. Like,
oh sure, yeah, I'm sure you do that. Everyone does that. But I think you also like when you hide those really close things, I think when you tuck them in that corner over there, you also try to forget about it yourself.
Yeah, I do, but like I write everything down, so like the way I want to like understand my own feelings, so about especially each section of life itself, because I journal a lot. I've been journaling from when I was like 11 years old. So I kind of like put everything down. And this is the first.
I don't think that makes you unable to lie to yourself or hide things from yourself, though.
I don't like hide things from myself, because if I do that, then if I do that to myself, it's like I'm doing something bad to myself.
Mm-hmm. And I believe you a little bit, because you've done I stopped doing medicine. That's a tough thing to do. If I lied to myself, then I would just have kept doing it, right? But I still think you hide things from yourself quite a bit. But again, I've only known you for an hour and a half, but I truly believe that's the case. But anyway,
I think like, what do you think this? I think this conversation is like not how I
not how you envisioned it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The thing is that like I've never like talked about relationships in public, as I used to do it in private. So when I'm doing it in public, I'm like, oh my God, this is a challenge for me. I'm always getting shy when I'm talking about that type of relationships and what to exactly to expose to the crowd. And
sure. Okay, well, let's go back to the sections. So and I mean, okay, yeah, let's go back to so there's platonic, there's whatever, friends with benefits, there's committed relationship, and that's pretty much it. And then whatever, acquaintances. So would you have anything to say about that, or you just wanted to section things out?
No, yeah. So I was hoping you would say something too.
Well, I definitely did say something. It just wasn't what you wanted, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, relationships that, I mean, I don't know if you've lived in the United States, but I mean, it's not specific to the United States. It definitely happens everywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, people get into friends with benefit relationships, or like, you know, or there's like the type of relationship with the guy's just like hanging on, like doing like almost like the stalking thing, right? And is just unable to get this girl, whereas the girl is just doing whatever she wants and like it's like enjoying her life because she's a young girl, right? Or whatever. I mean, those are all different types of like things that happen, and like those are important to mention, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And especially like I was like raised in a very strict culture, so I used to think to myself, it used to be like so straightforward. It's like I used to think that it wasn't this complicated, and when I came to like the Western world, I was like, oh my God, people are making this so complicated, like it's supposed to.
But don't you think it is a little bit complicated? Don't you think that there's like extra steps involved and different things you need to think about?
For like people who want to consider like friends with benefits, I thought to myself, this is a bit too much. It's not supposed to be
sure, and that's fine.
Yeah,
sure.
It's not supposed to be that complicated. It should, but it's supposed to be something that you can resolve.
Something that you can resolve.
Yes, Jesus, by communication.
That sounds so dark.
Yeah, it's something that you can resolve through communication.
Like it's a problem. Like, desiring people is a problem. I need to resolve it.
Okay, I used to think like that too.
I mean, that's what it sounds like you're saying.
I used to think like that. It's going to be a problem because with my family, especially, making that a huge problem.
Yeah. It sounds like family is a very overbearing part of your existence.
Yes, but I kind of love the idea of a relationship, but I don't want it to be too complicated where they're like friends with benefits and then to go up to
that sure.
extent. But I think there should be, any relationship should have fights.
Any relationship should have what?
Fights. I mean, fights are normal.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I can like live with that, but like I also want like.
So you would only have sex with a guy. Or this isn't even going to be on the podcast, is it? So I shouldn't even mention it. I mean, it's so important to this conversation. If I don't know, you don't think so? Okay, so for people listening, she just cut the recording at the most important moment. It was literally the climax of this whole thing, and she cut the recording.
Okay, so okay, so I think that like people get worried as in like what is the perfect time to have sex in a relationship? Are they going too soon into it? Sure. Are they actually delaying it? The answer is communication. You have to communicate with your partner like a best friend. There is no rule or such to obey. It just depends on this situation you have at hand, and that person should be as interested as you are with them, and that should be on the same level. It's like you shouldn't be like.
I'll agree with that. I mean, you're just saying just to stay safe, so like just so that you don't like get hurt in the long run.
Yeah, Yeah,
Okay, sure, that's fine.
So you don't get hurt in the
But don't you think that it's possible that some people can be too far the one way, where they're like, I'm just always need to be less interested than this other person, so that I don't lose them and don't get hurt?
The thing is that you should first love yourself in order to be in a relationship. If you don't love yourself,
okay, that's fine. But I'm just sure. Let's assume you love yourself or whatever. Like, don't you think it's still possible that you could be too controlling in your own life with the fact that you don't allow yourself to just take a leap of faith for a moment with someone you're interested in?
You can take a leap of faith with them. It just depends on
but don't you think there are people, for instance, who don't allow themselves to do that at all, and that they have to have more over a person than they have on that?
I think it's a matter of especially they come from different kind of religions and stuff like this, so they have kind of different beliefs. So every time they kind of have that strong attraction towards someone who's out of their religion, it kind of be a whole situation in their head.
Sure.
You can develop a whole situation in their head. I think is that
and so you think that they should stop those feelings?
I think they should do what they feel is right.
Okay, but you just said that they feel interested in this person, right?
Yeah, interested in this person. So I don't know how much they've communicated with them and how much they feel like this is the right fit, you know?
Why does it matter? They already are like super interested. They're like, oh my God, I really like this guy.
Yeah, but are they sure that they are going to receive the same input in their
Okay,
life?
let's say that it's that the guy is slightly less interested than the girl is in him. It's just slightly. It's like barely, like a thimble amount.
Yeah, I think you should give it some time and then think about it and then do it.
Okay, so the answer for you is almost always give it more time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like people with the best relationships have stood the test of time and have the best communication within it.
Sure, but you're not in a relationship yet. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, but the best, I have friends who are in a relationship and they are in a very committed relationship, and it took time and it took
I disagree. Some of the people who have had the best relationships that I know of, that at least what they tell me, maybe they're hiding something, but they got into it, after a few dates. So it was like less than a month. You think you completely throw that out the window? You think that that's completely unacceptable?
Yeah, and it's no, I feel like when people are dating me, they're coming in for a bigger challenge, I feel like.
But how come you haven't really? You've only been in it sounds like you've been in one relationship.
Yeah,
but you have only a couple years left before you want to have kids.
I'm the one who's giving relationship advice. I find myself giving relationship advice. I know.
Yeah.
It's
do you think that that's wise?
Yeah, because the thing is,
you do. Okay.
All the single people are giving relationship advice because they can think clearly, I guess.
Interesting. So you think that someone who isn't in a good relationship
relationship advice?
Sounds opposite.
In a good relationship. I think people who love themselves more can see well.
Oh, you think you love yourself the most?
Yeah, and I've been single for a really long time.
Yeah, it sounds like you should give great relationship advice then, huh?
Yeah, it's when I'm in a relationship,
it's like taking financial advice from a poor person. What are you doing? Right?
No, it's not only financial advice. It's
like taking military advice from someone who's like a ballet dancer, right? I mean, they just don't do it. They're not in it. They're not doing it.
I feel like you should do what you feel is right.
Yeah, that's just the default thing whenever you don't know, whenever someone doesn't know what to say about relationships, they just say you should do what you feel is right, or you should be yourself.
Because the thing is that I am not there in their situation. I am not there in their
I know
to see.
But that's what we're doing right now. We're hypothetically putting ourselves in situations, right?
Yeah. I would say time. I think time would be the best thing and
You're gonna
communicate.
die at some point. Like you literally said. I mean, when can you not have kids anymore? It's not that far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yes.
I don't quite get. I don't know. I guess I just disagree with you. Like
And
the answer is in time.
like the thing is like I'm also trying to figure it out as well, you know.
Okay.
At the
Yeah.
same time.
Okay. Great. I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to hear that because
Yes.
I mean, you're
Yeah,
like, yeah, I give the best advice, even though I don't have it. Yeah, what?
No, okay.
What?
Okay.
That's
The
insane.
thing is like so far in life, like I think I've made the best like decisions based on the situation that was there.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's all a person can do. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So
All you
I
can do is
feel
make the
like-
best decision you can make at the time.
Yeah. So I feel like for me, I have done the given the like, oh my God, this podcast. It's like a touchy subject for me. Okay?
Right. Well, that's the whole point. Like, if we're not going into touchy subjects, then like, what are we even doing? Like, we're just gonna regurgitate stuff that everyone else has said. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? Why
So,
would
yeah,
anyone listen to that?
Yeah.
Why would anyone listen to that? Two, how does that help us at all? Like, how does that change anything we do? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
whole point. Like, if it's not like getting at your guts a little bit, then like,
Yeah.
it's probably not. You're probably just talking about garbage.
And I'm also trying to figure things out as well because like for me, nothing has like felt so right, you know.
What do you mean?
Like nothing has actually felt for me like, okay, this is the person that like, you know, I want to spend.
Right.
That hasn't happened yet. So,
Yeah. So I mean, something's up, right? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I wonder what it is.
And yeah, it's like two people trying to figure out where each other's keys are to kind of unlock.
Is it though? I don't know if that's a great analogy.
But it is. It's like they're trying to understand the other person, and the other one is trying to understand the other person, right? It's kind of like a psychological game.
I guess, but you're not even like doing that right now, right?
What?
Who are you doing that with right now? Whose keys are you looking for? Who's looking for your
It's
keys?
like I'm single right now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like more focused on like my business and stuff like
yeah, sure.
So I haven't actually thought about relationships.
And how old are you?
26.
26, right? Okay.
Your age.
Right.
It's just that like I don't know, like I feel like I've got the most weirdest guys ever. Like starting from
None of them are good, huh? So where are the good guys? Where are the guys you're attracted to that are not around? Maybe you're not attracting
hard
them.
to find. It's just hard to find. I feel like I attract
so?
like so many people, like from taxi drivers to the people that like I don't know, they're not.
So it sounds like you're attracting guys who aren't very attractive.
Yeah, it's like I'm
So
attracting people.
Don't you think
who
you should
need-
change something?
Yeah, no, I'm attracting people who kind of need me as in their life. Something
Okay,
like
so how come you're not attracting the people who don't?
the thing is that I don't know why, but like for my friendships and all that, it's kind of like the best people. So
Okay, sure, but let's put friendships aside.
yeah. But
So-
like it's for my expectations, the majority of men weren't like what I exactly was looking for, you know.
What? Say it again. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
For the majority of my life,
Yeah.
I haven't come across someone who came so close to my expectations.
Yeah. So don't you think something should change? Either your expectations should change, right?
Yeah.
Because it's maybe you have a non-existent fantasy, right? Like there's just no guy who could be like that.
It's not non-existent. It's like
Okay,
someone-
fine. Let's
yeah.
make it existent. Let's make it
Okay.
existent. But let's make it 1 out of every 10, 30 million people. Like,
Yeah.
do you think you're gonna find that person? It's not very likely, right? So you're gonna stick with that?
I think I already found him. I told you. Like I already found that
This guy that's stalking you?
Yeah, that's the closest.
Okay.
That's the closest. That's the closest.
Yeah, I know, but you're just saying like the closest person to my expectations, but it sounds like you're not even like close. Like
Yeah, the thing is that I'm not that close. I feel like I need to have like more time to spend with them. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like I feel like you know what I mean, you know?
I mean, I know what you mean. It's just very, I don't know.
So I don't know about this podcast
This
episode.
is fantastic. People are gonna love this. This is great. Are you kidding me? This is a great podcast. You're trying to make it into something, and that's fine. You should like organize a podcast or like organize the things you talk to people about, right? But like, don't you think that you should let things just like ride out too? Like, I mean, that's like the essence of like life. Like sometimes you just got to do something.
I know. Like I'm so used to
and like some of the best,
like,
some of your favorite things you've ever done, I guarantee, were things that just happened off the cuff. You know, that happened like spontaneously, right?
Yes.
I mean, no, there's zero love stories that are like set up, you know, ahead of time by both people and just worked out exactly how they expected and turned out to be amazing. Like it just doesn't, it's not like a thing. Like there's always like anxiety along the way and like twists and turns and this person didn't react the way, like that's the best part. Like, so to like set up everything like that, it's just I just don't think it's the best way to live. Like it's not the best way for relationships. It's not the best way to like with that said, don't make everything chaos. I mean, that's probably you're not going to be happy. But I'm just saying, I think there's a pendulum, and you know, some people are too far on the side where they just control everything. And
the thing is that I feel like in my life, like I have not got like a chance to actually be with someone I like, you know. So I'm like thinking for myself, maybe in the future.
Why not now?
Because there's nobody. There's nobody.
Yeah, no, but why not soon? Why not? So don't you think you should change something to maybe find another person? And I'm not saying like start going to bars and just start hitting on guys. I don't think that's necessarily the solution. Maybe for some people, but like, how does anyone find you? You're in your apartment
as well, so I can't go everywhere. So like I chose to be unvaccinated, and I chose to be like indoors and to kind of do things like an introvert would do.
Right. That doesn't sound very beneficial to your relationship status.
Yeah. But like they have to adapt, especially to this situation. I like somebody who
they have to adapt. It's always they have to adapt. It's always they have to change. They have, all right.
It's like because everybody, you know, I just want to tell you that, you know, in my life, I kind of figured out like I was kind of the alpha because all the guys are just following whatever I do.
Yeah, but maybe you're just attracting only guys who are like beta. Don't you think if you change something, you would start attracting like more alpha guys?
Yeah, but like the thing is that I don't like people who are that controlling. So
so you don't want an alpha guy? Okay, let's say you find an alpha guy who isn't very controlling though. That's a thing.
Yeah, but like
maybe you're just not attracting that person.
Yeah, I'm not attracting that person.
Right. So what do you think you could do to attract that person, since that's obviously what you're interested in?
That is not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in this, like this type of person. I want to be the alpha and I'll get the beta. I think that's the best thing for me.
Okay, fine.
That's the best thing for me.
But how come you haven't been attracted to anybody? Like, or you know what I mean? Like you just said it. What did you say?
Yes.
You haven't found someone that you like truly like or whatever you said. Yes. Why? There's something that's not connecting there. Like, so what do you have any thoughts?
I feel like I'm always surrounded by, I don't know, like people I don't like. Most of the people.
So how do you get surrounded by people you like?
The thing is that like I had to find the right moment, and things have to be right.
So you're just hoping serendipity and chance come together. Like God has a plan. Like that's what you're hoping for. That doesn't sound very likely. I mean, as a scientist yourself, like you don't think that maximizing your chances is a good idea? Like that's insane.
I think in the future, like I kind of have plans for.
You're not going to find anybody just sitting indoors. Like it's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen like that.
And you're literally telling me that you've tried, you've looked at online, and you're like, it's not it.
I think I have a really cute neighbor, but the thing is, that like still it's not enough, you know.
This is the best conversation of all time. What do you mean it's not enough? Okay, fine, it's not enough, but there's literally the person who's next to you. Like, you don't think that you should open up your world a little bit? Like, there's billions of people in the world.
Yeah.
Like you think you're like interacting with all the ones that you might be interested in. Sounds like you're not, right?
Yeah, no, the thing is that like I did, like even with the neighbor, but then after that I was like, no, doesn't feel right. And that was kind of like, I think I'm being too picky sometimes.
I mean, I feel like that's a scapegoat for people. They just say, "Oh, I'm being too picky," but it's like that's not what it is. Like you're not opening up. You're not opening up your chances enough. Like you're not opening up to enough people. I mean, like you're like people are closing off. You're like in general, people are closing off too much. Like this control type of person,
Yeah, and
which
I
I think
don't know,
includes
like
yourself.
I kind of like attract people like especially like friends, like people more like myself. Even when I am in uni, I just
But do you want that? I think you should be trying to attract something that you're interested in, right? I mean, it sounds like you're not. So don't you think you could change something to make it more likely that that happens?
Okay, maybe I need to change my ways, but like
Is your brother there?
Yeah, my brother. Yeah,
My brother.
Maybe I need to be less controlling, but I don't think that ever will happen.
Okay, so you're just accepting that you'll never change. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll never like change that part of me, like
Okay.
because the thing is that like there are things that I want to do, and I feel like if the man is too controlling, I won't be able to do it,
Okay. I mean that sounds fine. If you know that that's what you're gonna do, then just it is what it is. I'm just saying you definitely understand that you'll never fall super attracted to anybody. Then you know that, right? You just have to accept that that's gonna not happen. You're gonna just end up with some guy, and this is fine if that's what you want, but like you're gonna end up with some guy who's just gonna let you take the lead, and who you won't find very attractive. Like it's just the bottom line. You'll like him, but it'll be more on a partner. It'll be closer to a platonic relationship that just has intimacy sprinkled in than it is to like a truly romantic relationship. It'll never happen for you.
Yeah, it's like I just want like a balance in being.
It doesn't sound like you want a balance though. It sounds like you want a balance, but you won't change enough to have a balance. You're literally saying I won't change that.
But I also want a friend as well. I want somebody who could do both. Okay.
Okay.
And I want like a partnership as well.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying you want all those things, but you're never gonna have it because you won't change like some parts about it.
I will change if I have to change. If I fail.
No, I'm telling you that you do. Like I'm telling you it's true that you do. You'll never I'm not saying you won't find a relationship. You definitely will, but you just won't find one that you're like deeply interested in. I promise you. If you don't open it up a little.
Yeah. So I think I'm learning from you as well because you're that.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. I mean, and you have to, and that's the thing, you have to have these kinds of conversations or you never learn enough about yourself. Like you don't learn your barriers. Like I started to learn mine when I started to like really dive deep in, like whenever something like hurt, like it was like, oh, like I don't want to dig into this. That's when you're like, oh, I gotta hit this hard. Like this is we found it. We found the thing that I'm like hiding behind. You know what I mean? The King Arthur's, I love this story. King Arthur and the Holy Grail, like the British whatever fantasy. They're looking for the Holy Grail, right? And all the knights are gathered and they're like, where should we look first? They decide where each person, so they need to go into this forest, right? This is dark, scary forest where things could kill them. And they're like, each person go into the forest at the spot that you think looks darkest. Yeah. So they walking along this forest, and at some point Lancelot's like, this is it, this is the darkest point, and then he walks in, and they keep walking, and then the next person finds the same. And that's what you have to do when you're like, you need to figure out something in your personal life. Where's the darkest part of the forest that like looks scary as shit? I gotta enter there. Yeah. And that's what you gotta do.
That's what I did to survive anxiety.
You've done it before. You've done it before. Yeah. You've literally done it. Like that medical school thing, that's crazy. Like I've never experienced that kind of pressure from parents before, so I can't relate there, but I can only imagine that it was so crazy that you did that. Like I maybe I wouldn't even have strength to do that. That's why. But it sounds like like you've gone through that, but you're unable to do it in a more of a relationship standpoint, which is understandable, but it is happening.
Yeah, that's why I need time and like more conversations about this, because like I'm surrounded by people who don't know much about the relationships, but like kind of went to it like by chance.
Right. But it's going to like a lot of it is you're going to find is going to be people just agreeing with you and being like, oh yeah, there's just 3 types of relationships. And there's not this and there's not this, and not telling you to press record again on the thing, you know, or like not like you can't have a bunch of yes people, you know, and that's what a lot of people are right now.
I don't like I kind of don't like those kind of people because I want them to tell me what's wrong with me.
Right. And you got to surround yourself with those kind of people. I mean, if you want to improve yourself, you know, otherwise don't, but whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's like, especially right now, the way how many relationships have you had?
I mean, okay, what do you mean? Define a relationship. Like a committed relationship between a man and a woman. I think I've had 3, 4.
And others.
And others. Many. Let's just say many.
Yeah, that's like, I want to talk to someone who's kind of had that type of experience.
Yeah, who's got experience, right? I mean, because if you don't, I mean, then it's kind of like getting, you know, relationship advice from someone who's never done any of that stuff. Like, I literally spent years being like, all right, I want to figure this out. Like, I want to figure myself out with this, and I'm going to spend the time and effort and like the emotional energy that it takes, like, to get hurt and to like maybe hurt someone else or whatever, maybe not on purpose, but like see what that happens. And like, how did I do that? Like, I didn't mean to, you know, and like go through all that. And I mean, I haven't gone through everything, but I've gone through a lot where I have a confident base of knowledge and like understand where a lot of people, you know, hide things from themselves. So, yeah.
Yes, because like when I have conversations like that with my guy friends who are like kind of similar, like, but not, I don't think up to that.
You're not going to learn anything.
Yeah, but not, I don't think up to that extent. And they try to, they like me the way I am. So they just don't want me to kind of explore that.
Well, that's fine. Here's like, people confuse like liking someone for who they are and liking someone for who they are and wanting them to be the best version of themselves. Like my friend, you know, doing something and I think it's silly, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to correct him on everything he does, but if he does something and I'm like, I'm confident that that's not the best thing for him, you know, let's say he's a fat guy, right? Super fat. And I'm like, look, you know, I believe, look, I know, I bet if I got him to lose weight, that he would be more happy. He could improve his like relationship life. He could be more healthy. I mean, he would die at a less age. I mean, and much other things for reasons to lose weight. I mean, it would be like immoral of me to not try to push that on him. Like, people try to like not push things on people. Like, oh, they're just living their best life, or like doing. It's like I would be a bad person to not try to push him to do that. You know, and don't do it for everything, but like, that's super important. And you can do that for relationships. Like,
because the thing is that like I used to think of that like together as well, because I like that person, but I also want to improve their life. So it's kind of like both of the things are clashing on.
You can do both. You can do both.
Yes, like I am. Yeah. The thing is like, I love the challenge. That's why I kind of like read in French as well. I take a book and I read it in French.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I like the challenges because it helped me become better. And that's why like my family kind of like, they paid for everything. They just didn't wanted me to be homeless when I was alone.
Sure.
But they did not give me enough extra expenditure, so I did not go out a lot. So it's like,
well, it sounds like you wouldn't allow yourself to go out very much in any way, but
but like I was willing to like go out for a beer, but like I wasn't allowed, and the extra expenditure like they gave me wasn't enough. So,
but here's the thing: you don't have to. People also confuse that. You don't have to buy anything. Like I was on an island for a couple of years in medical school, right? And this is a time when I was really hitting it hard with the studies, but I was also hitting it hard with relationships. I'm like, I want to figure this out. So literally all I did, I barely relaxed. It was relationships or study. That's all I did. But anyway, I would go to the bar. I purposely lived right next to the bar and where all the students went. And then I would go down there as much as I could, whenever there were people be. And I would literally just try to learn as much as I could. And the thing is, you don't ever have to drink. You literally never have to drink. You don't have to buy a ticket for a club. Like, there's so few of those. You could just so you don't have to do anything. And then when someone asks you, like, it's like, oh, but But what if someone goes, oh, I'm not drinking? It's like you just go, oh, I think you just tell them whatever reason you're not drinking. Like, you don't have to do anything. Like, oh, I just don't have money for it right now, whatever. People respect that. Who gives a shit? That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I feel like the last guy I dated was trying to actually wanted me to make him his
Spouse or
make
something?
his best self.
Say it again.
It's like make him better, make
him better. Okay,
yeah.
I mean, that's probably a doomed relationship. I mean, like, I feel like, it's kind of an old way of thinking, but I think if like a man is trying to have a woman make him better, like, it's probably not gonna work out very well, unless it's like, I don't know, like
I kind of felt the same way with him, because he's like always waking up early in the morning doing some sports, so I kind of like his lifestyle as well. So it's like I'm like an owl, because I was a med student. I am like an owl and he's like an eagle.
I don't know. I think if you really liked him, like for like other reasons, that wouldn't bother you very much.
Yeah.
Like some of the things that you point
I want
out
to change
about,
like I want to change myself into an eagle.
I like it. That's good. Yeah, I agree with you. That's good. I think this was a great podcast. I can't believe you think that it was something that's not worthy. This is probably the best podcast I've ever done. I've done like 25 of them,
Yeah. So if like I can send you parts of it. Like there's some things I don't like to talk about it, because like he probably listens to it. So yeah.
What if you send me the stuff and then I just like put it on my podcast? Like I don't think that guy would listen to it.
Okay, that's fair. I'm going to send you the entire conversation and you can cut bits off of it.
Okay, yeah, I'll just like adjust it.
Yeah, and I'll decide whether I put this under mine or not.
Yeah, that's fine. And well, here's the thing: you should put it on yours, but just like you can adjust it in any way you want.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that does sound good. And I want to start it off like just giving the basic factors, like how I do for the rest of the episodes, because like I feel like the way I start it, it's like I kind of like make it so informative in some way. And this one was like a casual kind of talk.
Here's the thing: this was a very casual talk, right? But it was super informative. Like those are some of the most informative moments. Like you learn so much from a story or from a conversation, and people like don't realize it. Like, oh yeah, but no one gave me any facts. It's like there was a million facts throughout that whole thing. That so many people could have learned so much from like what we just talked about.
It's basically logic. The thing
right,
is,
it's logic intertwined within all.
Yeah, but we kind of do not like, because logic works kind of differently, and we kind of do not know exactly what are those and what are we actually doing in some way.
I don't get what you mean.
So like, because we learn so many things in when it comes to an experience, we don't know how to like put it down into like points. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're saying it's simpler for people to understand when you lay it out and you like put it in an informative way. That's fine. I mean, but here's the thing: like you're learning this stuff as we go too. So it's like, how are you going to be able to lay it out? Maybe you could do it on another episode, but that's the point of this episode, Yes. I mean, we could try to lay it out now, but I mean, it's kind of been a long podcast, I feel like. But but yeah, I mean, let's do that. Why not? Let's do it. So then you don't have to think about it. Go ahead. What did we talk about? What did we learn?
We learned that like it's better to actually talk to someone who's actually like experienced and have like plenty of relationships.
Imagine learning how to fish from someone who's never fished before, or just like has studied the theory of fishing. It's like, right?
It's like, but for me, because I'm kind of like introverted and like a loner, I kind of learned everything by myself. So I kind of had the courage to learn everything by myself at the same time, and that's why.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's good. But you have to apply things too.
Yeah, you have to apply things as well. And I kind of learn because I am more observant than I don't move. Like when I try to learn something, I observe things. And when I observe things, I apply it to my real life. If I feel like, oh my God, that is useful, I apply it to the real life. So the way I kind of like study, for example, study codes is through observing. Others, they can observe like through movements and stuff like this.
So what did you observe here? What did you learn
that
you can apply to your life?
The thing is that like I what I did was like, from what you're telling me, I just formed a picture in my head,
And it's a nice picture, don't get me wrong. Like, it's a great picture, but it's just not one that reflects reality super good,
Yeah. And I feel like I need to get it out there more.
Fair.
And like start experiencing.
Unless your neighbor's super cute, I don't know.
Yeah, he is cute.
And here's the thing, also give those things a chance, you know what I mean? Like if you just go, well, maybe not anymore, like you could do that for everybody, even like the best people. So
yeah. But I first try to get to know cute people as a friend, and if I don't like it from there, like I decide.
Sure, and that's on them a little bit, right? If only they pushed it more, right? But
I remember like in mid school, I had a crush on like an Italian guy, because like he looked super cute, and he looked so so sturdy, and like he looked like he was
I like that.
Yeah, gym all the time,
Sturdy.
but he was a bit short,
Okay.
And then I was like observing him a lot. Like I didn't want him to know I was observing him, but like I was observing him in class. Okay. And then I found out that he's always looking at his iPad. What is he looking at his iPad? I was so curious to know. And then
oh my God.
I sat in the back for once, which I never do that ever. I always sit in the front. So I sit in the back, and then I could see that he's actually looking at his reflection, which is kind of like a
wow, that's really creepy.
yeah. That's
anyway, it sounds like you're really attracted to this guy. You never brought that up before.
Yeah, but the thing is that like the more I got to know about him, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't like him. That's fine. Yeah, I mean that's good. So but you have to explore those things, otherwise you never learn.
Yeah, like I think I'm good at exploring stuff, but like I feel like
no, you're not.
I need to get into the experience first.
Yeah, you have to actually do it. You're good at exploring things in your head. That's fine, but that you don't learn it. You can't actually learn the real thing from there. You got to enter the forest. You can't just find the area.
Yeah, and it's kind of like also because of our culture, because like we are more concerned about like arranged marriages, so we don't. Most of the women just do not get into a relationship until they are going to get married. So
yeah, well, I mean, you're already not going to do that, right? So you need to really open up your mind. I mean, you have further to come as far as understanding this stuff goes than anyone. So if anything, you need to open up your mind the most, and like be willing to learn, and like really, and the only way to learn is like to truly is to like experience things and to like put yourself out there. So
I think I've improved a lot compared to like how I was when I was.
I believe it. I believe you.
Yeah, like I used to shut like every person out, like saying I'm not ready. Like because I was like, I have my studies. I kind of was blaming it on my like academic life. I need to get out there.
It's easy to do. It's easy to do.
That's easy,
especially for girls. Yeah. 100%.
And then like now I realize that I have no like a little experience in it, and I even when I have experience, like I feel like I didn't have the right ones.
Hopefully you have some good ones.
Yeah. It's like okay, I'm gonna be quite open with this. I had my first kiss when I was 24. So
yeah, I would say that's not early. That's not early.
That's late.
Yeah.
That was 24.
Was it like a kiss on the cheek, or was it like the real deal?
It was really odd for me, because I felt like because it was like
well, yeah, you've never done it.
Like this doesn't happen in my culture so often.
Right.
So I was like, and it was from like a person who was not from my culture, not from my country. So I was like, talking about it with my like best friends, and then
Okay.
I was like, dude, it felt like a dog.
What?
It
It felt
felt
like a
like
dog?
it felt like a dog licking you, like
It sounds like he doesn't know what he's doing. What? I've never heard that.
it's like a
I'm
dog.
guessing you've never seen 40-Year-Old Virgin, but he like tries to describe like
Yeah. Oh
making out
yeah.
with a girl or
I
something.
watched him. I watched that movie actually,
He's
and
like, yeah, I grabbed her boobs and it was like, they're like, oh yeah, like what is it like? He's like
I
grabbing
think I
bags
can.
of
Yeah, I
sand.
think I can. I think I can relate to him because I'm just the female version of him. I'm the
Yeah,
female version of him.
that's hilarious. Like a dog licking your face. That's insane. That's hilarious.
And yeah, my friends were like, what? I was like, it was the perfect, like, it was like the perfect teenage story, except that it felt like a dog.
Okay. I'll just have to take your word for it.
So
But that's good. That's good you had that
the
experience.
setting was like, the setting was completely romantic. I mean, like, I get it, that person was actually doing what he really knew his stuff. It's just that I think his like ways of doing it were kind of different because he came from somewhere else, and I think that's the way people do it there.
It's pretty universal. It's pretty universal. That doesn't really change.
And
Like
then,
there's things that people like and there's things that people don't like. Like that's just how it is.
and I told a lot of people that it was like a dog, and then
What the
my friend.
Maybe don't tell people.
It's like even like I told my best friends, and I even told like a few people who were trying to help me out in the university because I was kind of new to all this.
Okay.
And and then I think that person was from like, he's another guy, and he was from Macedonia, and he was telling me I'm even worse, so it's okay, it's cool, I'm even worse.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's tough out here. I mean, if you don't get experience with it, how do you learn how to do things? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even that, like there's people with a lot of experience who never asked, what other people want. It's like,
Yeah.
if you let's say you kiss all the time, right? You've kissed a bunch of girls, okay, but you never asked like, oh, what do you like, or figured out what they like, then how do you know? You're just doing a bunch of things the same way a bunch of times.
Yeah,
So,
it's like, but at the same time, like this guy made me like challenge all my boundaries at a short period of time.
that's good.
So he's the first person who actually did it.
That's good. That's sweet. I bet you learned a lot.
Yeah, in a very short period of time. It's like, and
That happened to me for 2 years straight. So
so I think that there could be a future with this one. Yeah.
Oh, that's the same guy. That's the one we're
Yeah.
talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, still consider opening yourself up in general, but
Yeah.
oh,
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
I think
it's going to
think
be
that-
really hard, especially because he prefers phone calls and I prefer texting.
I see. I don't know. My gut feeling is that's not the one, but maybe.
Maybe because like that was the closest. Let's
Yeah.
see.
I don't know. It sounds like you have this like discrepancy going on, but
I think we
you'll
can
figure it
find
out.
something in the middle.
Maybe.
Maybe because I feel like this is the person who likes to be dominated, so that's a plus.
Wait, does this guy live by you?
Yeah, he lives close by.
Yeah, maybe you should just go for it.
Yeah, and I feel like this guy loves to be dominated by someone. And,
Okay.
and the thing is that I am kind of like that person, and he kind of respect like my dreams and stuff. So he kind of
Try it out.
respects me having
Sounds like he's waiting for you.
business. Yeah, having my own business, doing my own thing as well.
What are you waiting for? You don't have to wait.
Yeah.
Why can't you do both? I literally studied the hardest parts of medical school while doing this stuff. Like, why can't you do it while you're doing whatever you're doing?
It was like really hard for me to do that for some reason, especially.
Yeah, it's really difficult. I'm just saying it's possible.
Yeah, I should try it out.
Why not? We all got to go eventually.
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I think we should call it. I think that was a good podcast, despite what you think. And
I will just
what do you think? Do you think
like,
it turned out good?
yeah, it turned out good towards the end.
Right. But wait, I just had to break you in at first.
Yeah. I was just not ready to like tell the
To actually like give your thoughts and feelings.
yes.
Okay. All right. All right. Let me mention a couple things before we go. I mean, first of all, I have a podcast. It's called Unprofessional. She'll put it in the link if she posts this, and I'll obviously, this will be on my podcast. So, but yeah, you can email me at thatisunprofessional@gmail.com if you have any questions or anything, or comments. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. Actually, you made me learn quite a lot on relationships, and for once, I was actually open to it to someone else. Like I didn't know. Like I think I kept this all into myself. Like I haven't even come this far with my best friends as well, because they haven't actually asked the right questions. So I kind of like put it deep inside me, and kind of like that's why I'm like kind of like a loner, and I'm kind of writing everything down under a journal, and kind of like willing to solve things by myself, because people are just telling me yes, and kind of agreeing with me, but you just like challenge me to say no, you have to go in.
Good. That makes me very happy. I'm glad that I could help out in some, even if it was a small way. So I had a lot of fun doing this. Thanks for having me.